What's
Okay.
what's the overriding emotion after that, Chris?
No, we're pretty calm, I think. It was obviously a really difficult night, but the most important thing for us is to take what we need to out of it and move forward. We won't be overreacting to one performance. We knew we had some problems going in, and we were really wary of what the opposition could do, and in some ways we probably needed them to be a little bit off, and they were the opposite. So there's obviously work to do, but we've got to be careful we don't make it bigger than it is.
They were obviously on. Do you feel like you guys were off, or it was just a case of difficult?
Well, it looked like that, but sometimes it can be a little bit deceiving as well. Like I think they were clearly on. Even their execution going forward was elite early on. Like across the whole game, they're accurate in front of goal. Skill level is really high, and often when you get beaten by that margin, it can look like you're just getting slaughtered for effort and losing contests where you're not quite strong enough. But we didn't think. Well, I mean that did happen a bit, but so often it was. We looked like we were going okay, skill error, and they burnt us on the way back. I thought it was a little bit more of that we'd be critical of, as opposed to, the real sort of thirst for the contest, if that's what you mean by being on. But certainly, their execution in tight was really strong. And they're very good players, which is pretty close to the whole team. Were really good, especially in tight when the heat was on.
I know most of those forward half turnovers. I mean, it's just difficult to defend them. I mean, Connor O'Sullivan was okay, but
yeah. Well, we thought individually a lot of our defenders were good, but sort of collectively, it's very, very difficult to defend some of the turnovers that we made coming out of our back half. And again, the opposition, when that happens, the opposition always play a part in it. And they were really good with their system, but we did give them a few on a platter, which made it difficult for our defenders. So in that spirit, I thought it would be easy for those guys to kind of drop their bundle a bit and kind of throw their hands up as if to say, how are we supposed to defend that? But I thought they did hang in when it looked like it could have got really ugly.
A couple of, obviously, some big outs tonight. How big of an impact was that, and are they going to be right to go?
Yeah, I mean, it snuck up on us a little bit. I mean, we thought from quite a way out that they were going to be right to play, but it became clear. I think as much as anything, they just didn't feel ready, and maybe in retrospect, we might have had a few guys like that who weren't quite as good as they'd like to be going into a big game. And so it definitely, we knew going in that we weren't going to be able to play the same structure we have in the past, and we had to throw the magnets around a little bit. And in retrospect, maybe some of those moves, clearly they didn't work. So, that bit's obvious. But I guess the counterfactual is, if we didn't do something, we might have likely we just would have been beaten another way. So, a few guys coming back will help, but I don't think it certainly won't be the only answer.
A word on Tanner Bruin, Chris. He looked good tonight. Yeah,
and that's what I alluded to before. When you sort of work through it, there were some positives, which is always a hollow thing to say in the immediate aftermath of a game like that. But of all the positives, Tanner likely the most positive. He's definitely going to be an asset for us. If anything, it's sort of galling that we didn't have him. He's sort of the player we needed at times last year. But no, that was really positive. I'm pleased for him.
Chris,
not easy having a year out, particularly given the circumstances. I mean, are you surprised at how quickly he's slotted back in to play that style?
Maybe I'm a little. What I was not by his ball use and his penetration. That we've seen that enough to know that he can deliver that. Probably if I was surprised by anything, it was just like how good he looked physically. Like, and especially compared to some of that other guys who will get better. It's the old cliche. I think I'm certain we will be better for the run. But it was pleasing late after being outplayed so clearly that we had a number of guys and Tanner was leading them. in really running the game out.
You play the last game last year, you're playing second game this year. Would an extra week or two help, or you just think that the short pre-season's fine?
I think it's just a fact that, and probably a casual observation over the couple of pre-season games, is that the teams who missed the finals are a little further ahead in their prep. That would seem logical, but Gold Coast played finals as well. So no, of all the things we'll sort of look back on, I don't think we'll be saying, oh, that was the issue and we don't have anything to worry about. I think it's a little deeper than that. But yeah, it's early playing March 6th, and I'm confident we'll get better. We'll need to.
No excuses, obviously, but is it an outlier play up here in those conditions with the humidity in terms of being prepared for playing that football? Given
I actually thought the conditions were as good as you could hope for. Like, if you've spent any time in Queensland at the end of summer, it could be a lot worse than it was tonight. So I think over the course of the season it'll be an outlier, but Gold Coast play a couple of games in Darwin. That might be similar, but no. Again, I would hate anyone to listen to what I'm saying and interpret it as the conditions were the issue for the way we played.
Probably tough to feel his sting tonight, but Christian Petrarca is a lover of the game. Were you sort of pleased to see him settle into his new home up here and play so well in Queensland especially?
Yeah, rap for him. It was great. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.